The biggest sporting event in human history is almost here. Not the Olympics. Not the Super Bowl. Not the Champions League final. The FIFA World Cup. And the 2026 edition is going to be unlike absolutely anything we have ever seen before in the history of this sport. For the first time ever, we are talking about 48 teams, 3 countries hosting together simultaneously, 16 incredible stadiums across an entire continent, and a prize pool so massive it will shatter every single record in football history. If you think you already know what is coming, trust me, you don't. Because this World Cup is not just another tournament. This World Cup is going to change football forever. So stay with me until the very end of this video, because I am going to cover absolutely everything: the host cities, the brand new format, the qualified teams, the favorites, the dark horses, the records that could be broken, the storylines that will define a generation, and my own prediction for who lifts that golden trophy on July 19th. Let's get straight into it. The 2026 FIFA World Cup officially kicks off on June 11, 2026, and runs all the way through to July 19, 2026. That is 39 straight days of non-stop football for the entire planet to enjoy. The tournament is being hosted jointly by 3 nations simultaneously: the United States, Canada, and Mexico, making it the first World Cup in history to be shared across 3 different countries at the same time. The official slogan of the tournament is, "We are 26," which perfectly captures the spirit of unity and scale that this event represents. Now here is where it gets truly historic. For the first time ever in World Cup history, 48 national teams will be competing, a massive jump up from the previous 32-team format. That means 16 additional nations get their shot at the greatest prize in all of football. The total number of matches across the entire tournament? A staggering 104 games, up from 64 in previous editions. And the grand final itself will be played on July 19th at the iconic MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, just outside New York City, which is the largest stadium in the entire tournament with over 82,000 seats, ready to witness history being made. And by the way, if you are new here and you love football, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, because we are going to be covering every single update, every squad announcement, every match preview, and every major story from the 2026 World Cup right here on this channel. You do not want to miss a single thing. Let us talk about where the games are actually being played, because the sheer scale of this is extraordinary. The United States is hosting in 11 cities. New York and New Jersey at MetLife Stadium hosting the all-important final, Los Angeles at the stunning modern SoFi Stadium, Dallas at the iconic AT&T Stadium with its retractable roof, San Francisco at Levi's Stadium in the heart of Silicon Valley, Miami at Hard Rock Stadium where the atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric, Seattle at Lumen Field, which regularly produces some of the loudest crowd noise in all of American sport, Boston at Gillette Stadium, Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field, Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium, which has literally broken world records for crowd noise levels, Atlanta at the spectacular Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and the legendary Rose Bowl in Los Angeles, which famously hosted the 1994 World Cup final. Canada contributes 2 incredible cities: Toronto at BMO Field, which is the heartbeat of Canadian football, and Vancouver at BC Place, a stunning domed stadium sitting beautifully on the Pacific coast. And then there is Mexico, bringing 3 legendary venues to the party. Mexico City at the Estadio Azteca, one of the most iconic and historic football venues on the entire planet, which previously hosted the 1970 and 1986 World Cup finals and will now host a third, making it the only stadium in history to host 3 World Cup finals. Guadalajara at Estadio Akron, and Monterrey at the modern Estadio BBVA. 16 cities, 3 countries, 1 incredible tournament. This is where the 2026 World Cup gets genuinely fascinating, because the format has completely changed from everything we have known before, and every football fan needs to understand exactly how it works. The 48 qualified teams are divided into 12 groups of 4 teams each during the group stage. The top 2 teams from every group automatically advance to the knockout rounds. But here is the twist. The 8 best third-place teams from across all 12 groups also advance, making a total of 32 teams progressing into the knockout stage. From there it follows the classic knockout path: round of 32, then the round of 16, then quarterfinals, then semifinals, then the third place playoff, and finally the grand final at MetLife Stadium. This new format means more matches, more drama, more giant-killing upsets, and more nations experiencing the electric pressure of knockout football for the very first time on the biggest stage in the world. Critics argue it slightly dilutes the competition during the group stage. Supporters say it gives more nations, especially from Africa, Asia, and the smaller confederations, a genuine chance to shine on the world stage and grow the game globally. Either way, with 104 matches across 39 days, there is absolutely never going to be a dull moment from start to finish. If you are finding this useful and informative, do me a massive favor and smash that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow and means more people get to learn everything about the 2026 World Cup. It takes literally 1 second and it means the world. So who actually made it to the greatest show on earth? FIFA allocated qualification spots across all 6 confederations. UEFA Europe received the biggest allocation with 16 spots, reflecting the continent's dominance in world football. CONMEBOL South America received 6 spots with Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia, Ecuador, and Paraguay all booking their places. CAF Africa received a historic 9 spots, the biggest African allocation in World Cup history, giving the continent its strongest ever representation on the global stage. AFC Asia received 8 spots including Japan, South Korea, Iran, and Australia among others. CONCACAF North and Central America and the Caribbean received 6 spots with the 3 host nations USA, Canada, and Mexico automatically pre-qualified. OFC Oceania received 1 spot. And finally 2 additional spots were decided through intercontinental playoff matches between confederations. This is without question the most diverse, most representative, and most globally inclusive World Cup in the entire history of the tournament, with passionate nations from every single corner of the globe competing for the ultimate prize in sport. Now let us get to the part everyone has been waiting for. Who can actually win this thing? France are the bookmakers' clear number 1 favorite, and honestly it is very hard to argue against them. Kylian Mbappe leads the line with pace, power, and a ferocious hunger to finally lift that trophy as captain of his nation after the heartbreak of losing on penalties in 2022. France have the most balanced and talented squad in world football right now, elite quality in every single position on the pitch. Brazil come in as eternal contenders, 5-time world champions desperate to end their 24-year wait for a 6th title. With Vinicius Jr. in absolutely devastating form at Real Madrid, alongside Rodrigo and the exciting young Endrick, Brazil carry the weight of a nation's dreams on their shoulders as always. Argentina are the defending champions, winners of the extraordinary Qatar 2022 final and what many consider the greatest World Cup final ever played. And then there is the question that the entire football world is asking: Lionel Messi will be 38 years old during this tournament. This will almost certainly be his final World Cup. Can he do it again? Can Argentina defend the title and send the greatest player who ever lived into retirement as a back-to-back world champion? England have been building toward this moment for years. Semi-finalists in 2018, finalists at Euro 2020, semi-finalists at Euro 2024. With the golden generation led by Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, and Harry Kane, 60 years of hurt could finally end on North American soil in 2026. Spain arrive as Euro 2024 champions, playing the most attractive and fluid football of any nation in the world right now. Lamine Yamal, one of the most extraordinarily gifted teenage talents the sport has ever produced, combined with Pedri, Nico Williams, and a brilliantly organized system makes Spain a genuine and serious threat to win everything. Germany are 4-time world champions who suffered a humiliating group stage exit in Qatar 2022 and have since rebuilt with young and hungry talent. Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz are 2 of the most technically gifted and exciting midfielders on the entire planet right now, and Germany are coming for revenge. And then there is Portugal. where Cristiano Ronaldo at 41 years old will almost certainly be playing his final World Cup, desperately chasing the one trophy that has eluded him throughout his entire legendary career. Around him, Portugal have genuine generational talent in Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Leao, and Bernardo Silva. This could be the most emotional fairy tale ending in football history, or the most heartbreaking final goodbye. We are going to have dedicated videos breaking down every single one of these teams in complete depth, squad analysis, tactical breakdowns, player profiles, everything. So if you have not subscribed yet, do it right now and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss a single upload. Every single World Cup in history has produced its giant killing shock stories, and 2026 will be absolutely no different. Morocco reached the semi-finals of Qatar 2022, becoming the first African nation in history to ever achieve that, and they return in 2026 hungrier, more experienced, and with the same extraordinary defensive solidity that destroyed Spain, Portugal, and Belgium on their incredible run. Do not sleep on Morocco for even a single second. Japan shocked Germany and Spain in Qatar, and their intense pressing system combined with the growing European club experience of their players makes them an absolute nightmare opponent for any nation on any given day. Japan are no longer a surprise package. They are a genuine and calculated threat. The USA are playing at home, on their own soil, with tens of millions of passionate fans behind them across the country. Christian Pulisic leads a young, athletic, and deeply motivated squad, and home advantage in a World Cup is a very real and powerful thing. Colombia are one of South America's most exciting and dynamic teams, with a beautiful blend of European club experience and explosive South American flair. They could absolutely be the surprise package of the entire tournament. And the Netherlands, always dangerous, never quite delivering on their enormous potential, with Virgil van Dijk commanding the defense and exciting young attackers firing. The Dutch will absolutely fancy their chances of going all the way this time. The 2026 World Cup has a very real chance of completely rewriting the history books. With 104 games being played instead of the previous 64, the record for total goals scored in a single World Cup tournament is almost certainly going to be completely demolished. Both Messi and Ronaldo could add significantly to their already extraordinary international goal tallies in what are almost certainly their final World Cups. Every single goal either of them scores will be a historic moment to be remembered forever. Kylian Mbappe already holds the record for most goals in a single World Cup knockout stage, and in 2026, with a full extended tournament, he could realistically become the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history, overtaking the legendary Miroslav Klose's record of 16 goals. A new record for the youngest player ever to appear in a World Cup could also easily fall, with so many nations bringing fresh young squads to the expanded tournament. And perhaps most significantly of all, 2026 could make history as the first time an African nation lifts the World Cup trophy. A moment that would be one of the most significant and emotional in the entire 96-year history of the competition. FIFA has officially confirmed that the total prize pool for the 2026 World Cup will be a record-shattering $1 billion. Yes, $1 billion. The nation that lifts the trophy at MetLife Stadium on July 19th will receive approximately $50 million in prize money. Even teams that are eliminated during the group stage will receive several $1 million each just for participating. To put that into perspective, the 2022 Qatar World Cup paid out a total of $440 million across all teams. The 2026 edition more than doubles that. Football is the world's game, and the numbers in 2026 reflect exactly that more powerfully than ever before. Beyond the tactics, the results, and the statistics, the 2026 World Cup will ultimately be defined by its deeply human stories. The last dance of Messi and Ronaldo, the two greatest players the sport has ever produced, both playing their final World Cups simultaneously, will give every single match they play an almost unbearable emotional weight that football has never quite experienced before. The United States hosting at home at a moment when American football is genuinely growing and MLS is expanding rapidly could be the turning point where the USA truly and completely falls in love with the beautiful game forever. The possibility of Africa winning it all for the very first time in history would be one of the most monumental moments not just in football, but in global sport. England's 60-year curse. Will 2026 finally be the year it ends with this extraordinary generation of talent? And Mbappe's potential coronation. If France win and he lifts that trophy, he becomes the undisputed king of world football and defines the sport for the next decade. Drop a comment right now and tell me, who do you think is going to win the 2026 World Cup? I am reading every single comment, and I will personally reply to as many as I possibly can. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with every football fan you know. Let's get the whole world excited for what is coming. So after covering absolutely everything, the teams, the format, the stadiums, the favorites, the dark horses, and the incredible storylines, who do I think lifts that golden trophy at MetLife Stadium on July 19, 2026? My prediction is France. The most complete squad in world football. The best and most dangerous player on the planet in Kylian Mbappe. A group of players burning with desire to avenge that gut-wrenching penalty shootout defeat in the 2022 final. A clear tactical identity and a manager who knows exactly how to win on the biggest stage. France are my pick. But here is the thing about football. It never does what you expect. It never follows the script. And that unpredictability, that beautiful chaos, that ability to produce moments that take your breath away and make you feel things you cannot explain, that is exactly why billions of us around the world watch. That is exactly why the World Cup matters more than anything else in sport. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is going to be the greatest and most spectacular sporting event of our entire generation. 48 teams, 3 countries, 16 cities, 104 matches, 39 unforgettable days, and one champion who will be remembered forever. It all begins on June 11, 2026. And the world will never be quite the same after it ends. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. It genuinely means everything to me and to this channel. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell right now, because we are going to be your #1 destination for every single update, every squad announcement, every group draw reaction, every match preview and review, every injury news update, and every major story from the 2026 FIFA World Cup from now all the way through to the final in July. We are covering it all. Every detail. Every moment. Every story. Subscribe now and come along for the greatest ride in football.